my computer in order to take class from my computer. But the thing is, my headphone is not connecting. I'm not able to hear you guys while I connect from that device.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
anyways, so due to that, there was a interruption in the class. So in the previous class, we did talk few basic things about the chapter sound, right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
What were the things we discussed? We basically discussed like sound is a characteristic property. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sound is
And
made due to the vibrations of the air molecules.
exactly, sound is produced due to the vibration of the air molecules, right? Okay. Also, there was this thing also. Like questions are asked from different musical instruments as well. Different musical instruments से भी questions आते हैं exam में. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So have a look at the different type of musical instruments given in the figure here. Okay. And basically the questions are asked in this manner ना कि आपको बताना होता है कि which part of the musical instrument produces sound here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You guys answer this thing. Which part of a, for example, tabla or sitar makes sound when it vibrates?
So A column.
Air column. Air column basically vibrates. Along with that, we get to see that, for example, in tabla, basically the membrane vibrates,
Yes, sir.
right? In sitar,
Strings.
it's the strings, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
और ड्रम्स में हम देखते हैं मेम्ब्रेन वाइब्रेट करता है, सितार में इट्स द स्ट्रिंग्स. व्हाट अबाउट द फ्लूट?
So A columns. Yes, sir.
Air columns. Good.
It blows
So
the wind.
musical, there are different musical instruments that we have, like stringed musical instruments hai.
Yes, sir.
So just a small part, let's quickly cover this thing as well. So musical instruments भी different types के होते हैं.
So how does Jaltarang produce sound?
Which thing?
So, there's an instrument called Jaltarang, a Kashmiri instrument.
Jal Taran.
Yes, sir. So there are bowls filled with water, different
हाँ
volume
हाँ
of
हाँ.
water, and you beat the
हम्म.
bowls.
Got it, got it. Which musical instrument you are talking about? So it's like they are having different cups filled with different amount of waters, right? And then they will be having a fork, and then they will vibrate it using that fork, right? So due to amount different availability of sound in that, it is produced. Simply वहाँ पर क्या होता है? Look here. Say you are having two cups. You are having different cups, and different. They are filled with different amount of water. This much, this much, this much. Okay. In the first one, when the water will vibrate now, when this vibrates, so only this much of air is just in contact with the water. While in the
Yes, sir.
second bowl or in the glass, this much of air is there. Okay, this much of empty air is there in the third one. So also there's a thing like different amount of air molecules are in direct contact with this water. Okay.
Yes, sir.
In so the number of air molecules that are in immediate contact with the water are different because the water is filled at different levels, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
in that manner, they will be producing sound. Huh. Now coming back to the different type of musical instruments that we have to study, namely हमें पढ़ना है. You have the stringed musical instruments. Okay. Then second you have got wind musical instruments.
Yes, sir.
Wind musical instruments. Third, you have got membrane musical instruments.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. And the fourth one, you have the plate type musical instrument. Plate type musical instruments. If you haven't noted these things down earlier, do make sure you either take a screenshot or note them down. Okay. So look here. The different type of musical instruments we have, they basically create a melodious sound, right now?
Yes, sir.
They give a melodious sound, or a person that sings, it's a melodious song, right? So
Yes,
these
sir.
musical instruments will also be giving a melodious sound, and all of them are basically producing sound at different frequencies. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
तो बेसिकली म्यूजिक में क्या होता है ना, why these are called as musical instruments, because with the help of these musical instruments, in this we get to see there's a arrangement of sound of different frequencies. हम sound play करते हैं और सभी different frequencies पे play होते हैं, right?
Yes, sir.
और ऑल्सो हम कहते हैं कि डिफरेंट नोट्स पे हम प्ले कर रहे होते हैं साउंड, राइट? और हिंदी में हम इसे स्वर कहते हैं। या
Yes, sir.
ओके,
Sir,
सो
rhythm, right?
रिदम और स्वर, हाँ, करेक्ट। सो in such a manner the sound is being played at different frequencies that it is pleasant to the ears, right? So that it is now called as music. Okay. Or when we sing a song, जब हम गाना, like if you are singing a song, right, we alter or modulate our voices to produce the musical sounds. Like the way normally we are talking, it is different from the way how a person sings. So there he is basically modulating his voice in order to produce a sound. Getting it now?
Yes.
So common instruments हमारे पास क्या है? These are basically like sitar is there, veena है, violin, guitar, piano, and you have like harmonium is there, sehnai is there, right? Now flute is there, right? So these are some of the common musical instruments. इनको हमने 4 categories में divide किया है. For example, if you were to talk about the string musical instruments, yeah, so these are those kind of musical instruments that are producing musical sounds by the vibration of these stretched strings on them. Getting it now?
Sir.
Simply एक stretched wire होता है. So in this manner it is being producing sound. Examples are very important. ठीक है ना?
Yes, sir.
All do remember the examples, huh? Quickly give me the examples of string instruments.
Guitar.
Sir, guitar.
Guitar.
Um,
Sir, violin.
Guitar.
Which one?
Sir, sitar.
Violin someone mentioned. Sitar someone mentioned. Huh, Ahmed. Sitar is there. Violin. हाँ. अच्छा, तानपुरा भी है, right?
I've never heard of that, sir.
That is a instrument here. That is also a musical instrument. Tanpura. Or these are basically right now. These are
Yes, sir.
some of the string musical instruments. So do make sure you remember them. Second,
Yes,
wind musical instruments. Okay. So what are the wind music examples of wind musical instruments? How do they function?
so when we blow the wind, the air molecules start vibrating and it makes sound.
Very good. And someone in the beginning said there's a air column. Like there's a flute now. Flute, for example, is make air column hai, and at different regular intervals there are holes made in the flute, right? So
Yes.
as you blow into the flute, basically the air inside it will start vibrating,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so ये wind instrument इसे हम क्यों कहते हैं? Because you are blowing air into it, and blowing air is simply called as wind.
Hmm.
Yes,
Thereby
sir.
इसे हम wind instruments भी कहते हैं. Okay ना? So here basically you will be having different type of instrument. For example, flute है हमारे पास, like you have शहनाई. Okay, trumpet. See the trumpet.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
trumpet, like here you see wind instruments, and sometimes it is mentioned as wind and brass also. Trumpet is a instrument, musical instrument, simply made, its body is made up of brass. ठीक है ना? So in
Hmm.
that manner its name is like wind and brass instrument as well. So you make sure you remember the examples.
Sir, we
Okay.
cover the holes to make different sounds.
हाँ, basically in the trumpet now they will be uh, covering the holes at different intervals in order to produce different sounds, right?
Yes, sir.
So sehnai is there, और हमारे पास trumpet है. हाँ, any other example? Flute.
Yes, sir.
Flute
Yes,
Flute.
is
sir.
also there, right? Getting a term was. Now you have the third type of musical instruments, that those are the membrane instruments, right?
Yes, sir.
So membrane में क्या होता है? Basically the tabla that you see. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So in a tabla, what do you see? There's a thin sheet of skin on both the sides of a tabla,
Yes, sir.
right? As you can see over here, on either on the both side or either on just one side.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Getting
sir.
it now? So यहाँ पर skin को क्या करते हैं वो? See these things over here. These things. What are these things?
Sir, strings.
ये string तो है. These are the strings tied on the stretched skin. ये क्या है? एक stretched skin है. Okay. In fact, this is synthetic and as well as made up of from animal skin as well. ये जो आप
Yes, sir.
membrane देखते हैं, it could be either synthetic or it could be made from the skin of an animal, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
it has been stretched, and these cylindrical structures that you are seeing over here now. So
To make it
what
tighter.
happens? It is used to tighten the skin. To tighten the
Yes, sir.
skin, it is basically rolled down. Okay. So that is basically about the membrane bound, uh, membrane type of musical instruments. So simple examples are like tabla, dholak, or drum, or dhafli,
Yes, sir.
right?
Mhm.
So these are some of the examples. So membrane bound instruments examples आपको याद रखने हैं. तबला और ढोलक और tabla, dholak, or you have the dhafli as well. Dhafli.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so these are some of the common, right? Then you have got the plate type musical instruments. See this one, percussion instruments, also called as percussion instruments. So
Yes,
thereby,
sir.
what you have got, you have like you have this two plates. If you were to strike them against each other, right now,
It
so
makes sound.
sound is being produced, right?
Yes, sir.
So यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? Basically, air column जो बीच में है, it is being pressed. I mean to say, it is being stricken by these two metal plates, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
thereby, when the metal plates are struck together, sound is produced, right? And
Yes,
it makes a ringing musical sound. Ringing musical sound. आपने
Yes,
देखा
sir.
होगा like cymbals, yeah, और इसे मंजीरा भी कहते हैं. I don't know if you guys are aware of this local word or not. मंजीरा. So it's a like plate type musical instruments, right? Like in
Yes, sir.
Hinduism, you get to see in rituals, the priest will be hitting it, and while they do the bhajan, they they do bhajan while hitting it. Okay, na?
Yes, sir.
So ये कुछ common examples हैं plate type musical instruments के. Okay, all right. And Jal Tarang was also there, as you mentioned, Arhan, right? So
yes,
you
sir.
have different number of cups, they are filled with different volume of water, right? So as we start to hit it using a stick, different kind of sound is being produced as different sound with different frequencies are being produced, right?
Yes, sir.
So जैसे ही हम water जैसे ही हम cup में water की amount को increase करते हैं, what do you think what will happen as the amount of water in the cup will be increasing? The
So
sound
air
that is
surface
being
will decrease.
air availability in the cup will also decrease, while the frequency will also become be more, right now.
Sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
as the amount of the water in the jal trunk is increased, the sound produced also goes on increasing,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay.
It's directly
So
proportional.
डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शन, राइट ना? सो जैसे ही हम इंक्रीज कर रहे हैं वाटर की अमाउंट, फ्रीक्वेंसी भी जो है इसकी बढ़ती जा रही है, राइट? सो द कप दैट विल बी हैविंग मैक्सिमम अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर विल बी producing sound of highest frequency. Okay. Also I can say the cup having maximum amount of water will have maximum pitch. Okay.
Yes,
In
yes,
both
sir.
way I can say, getting it now? So this was all about the different type of musical instruments. We did talked about how do humans produce sound. I hope no one is having any doubts in that. Okay.
Sir.
If there's any, please do let me know. Also, there's a small difference between music and noise as well, right now. So noise is basically what? The presence of loud, unwanted, and disturbing sound in the environment. That is simply noise pollution, right? Noise and noise pollution. Getting it now? So we will get to that when we will reach that topic in the class. Now, some of the facts regarding sound, like sound will travel through water 4 times faster than it will be traveling in the air, right? And sound will be traveling 13 times faster in solids than it will be traveling in air.
Yes, sir.
Getting it or not? So those are also some of the interesting facts about the sound. Do actually try to remember these facts, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay
Yes, sir.
then. How do we hear? That thing is also we discussed while we were doing this chapter. So, one of you do tell us how the human ear perceives sound. How does it basically work?
Sir,
The human ears catches sound through the pinna and sends
Mhm,
the air molecules that are vibrating through the ear canal, and the ear canal sends the vibration of air molecules to the eardrum, and the eardrum interprets it and sends it to the brain, and then brain interprets it, so we can tell what the other person has spoken about.
Okay, you missed the working of the
sir, can I
middle
say?
ear. Arham.
Yes, sir.
Sir, the sound travels through sound waves through pinna.
Mm-hmm.
Then the sound waves go through the ear canal,
Mm-hmm.
and and then the hairs and the moisture present in the ear canal
Mm-hmm.
turns it into signals. Then
Very
the
good.
eardrums convert the signals into currents, and then these currents are given to the brain, and then the brain interprets it as what we have here.
Okay. Look, as you were talking about the middle ear, the bones present in the middle ear, now they are basically amplifying the sound vibrations. वो sound vibrations को increase कर देते हैं.
Yes, sir.
Okay, they don't convert it into currents. Okay. Okay. Ahmed, you would like to add anything to it? Why you three haven't turned your cameras on in the class? Yeah, Moaz, Ahmed, Arham.
Sir, I have read.
No, but you are
Mm,
not.
yeah. Yes, I have.
Okay, you had. Yeah, Moaz, Ahmed, turn your cameras on in the class.
So, what is the function of eustachian tube?
Which one?
So,
Eustachian tube.
yes, sir.
Eustachian tube is basically the tube that carries the signal to the what do you say, to the brain basically. It's like the auditory nerve basically. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Sir, in my school, also the annual, there are three parts, right?
A
In the
hammer,
meridian.
anvil, and stirrup bones.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Uh, there is like explanation. It can you tell it to me?
Sure. I just asked from you guys like whether you guys remember it or not. We are again going to discuss it. Okay. Okay, so Moaz, let's start discussing about how do we hear through ours, right? So as you know, the ear is basically the sense organ which helps us in hearing the sound. So we basically hear through our ears, right? In fact, most
Yes,
of the animals have got the capability of have got the sense of hearing, right? Okay, so this is a very well explained diagram of a human ear, as you can see. And if you were to look at the shape of the human ear, or bahar se hum dekhte hain, it appears as if it's a funnel. If you were to look at the outer part, right? ये
Yes,
एक
sir.
funnel के
yes,
shape
sir.
में दिख रहा है हमें, right? Now like this. Okay, Moaz?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the outer part of the ear, this is called as pinna. ये क्या है? Outer part है, right? And it is almost stretched to about 2 to 3 centimeter, right? Now,
Yes, sir.
okay. Now then, after the ear pinna ends, you have got the second part of the ear.
Ear canal.
Okay, that is the
Ear canal.
ear canal.
Yes,
You have
sir.
the ear canal. So ear canal is normally like 2 to 3 centimeter ये long होता है, ठीक है? So there's a passage in the ear that is called as ear canal that is 2 to 3 centimeter long. And at the end of this ear canal, you have got a drum-like structure, a thin
Yes,
elastic
sir.
drum-like structure.
Eardrum.
Okay, that is called as eardrum, right? तो ये बहुत ही thin होता है, it is elastic and circular. Okay, and ये stretched होता है, it is stretched. Okay ना?
Yes, sir.
Now after the eardrum ends, then it starts the middle ear. Okay, thereby you have got 3 bones in the middle ear. Okay, so middle ear में 3 bones होते हैं, namely they are hammer,
Anvil.
anvil, and
Start from
stirrup.
S. Yes, sir.
Stirrup. Okay, these are the 3 bones found in the human ear, and they are very tiny.
So,
They are,
steps.
yeah.
Stapes bone, present in the middle ear.
Stapes bone. हाँ, stapes bone is there, but you have to just study about the hammer, anvil and step. Okay, na. Hmm. So hammer, anvil, and stirrup are there, and then you have got the inner ear. Okay. So inner ear ये है. Inner ear में basically क्या होता है? You have this part of the ear where the sound signals are now being catched by the auditory nerves and then transported to the ear, to the brain, basically.
Yes, sir.
Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay then. So first thing is that outer ear, it's like a funnel shaped.
Yes, sir.
Okay. अब हम parts में divide करते हैं तो human ear, okay, it is divided into three parts. First one is the outer part.
Outer, middle, and
Inner.
inner.
Good. Middle part. Getting it was or not? Ahmed, Arhan, Arham.
Yes,
Third
Yes.
one is the inner ear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so these are the three parts into which the human ear has been divided, basically. Okay, now let's understand how the human ear basically functions. Okay, हम function की basically बात कर लेते हैं. Now, look here, the sound waves that is coming from a vibration producing body will be collected by the ear pinna. हमारे ear pinna की structure कुछ इस तरह से है that that it can catch the incoming sound vibrations, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you were to study about the human being especially, you will be astonished to see that the design is so good that it can carry the sound waves very properly, right? And bigger the ear pinner, more amount of sound will be received. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
Getting it now? Okay, that's why you get to see the animals that are having broader ear pinna, they can sense even the smallest of vibrations. Getting it now?
Yes,
So
sir.
the sound wave will be coming here. So यहाँ से क्या हो रहा है? Sound vibrations आ रहे हैं. Okay. So it will be collected by the ear pinna. Remember that. So outer part क्या कर रहा है? Collection कर रहा है ये basically. Collection of vibrations.
Air molecules.
Vibrations basically we will understand in the vibration in the air molecule. And now it will pass through the ear canal and now it will be falling on the eardrum. Getting it now? ये collection भी कर रहा है और ये pass भी कर रहा है आगे sound waves को, right?
Yes, sir.
And now when the sound waves fall on the eardrum, so which part we are going to talk about later on? After this, we'll be talking about the middle ear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So from the eardrum, it starts the middle ear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes,
middle
sir.
ear starts from the eardrum. Remember that thing. So middle ear में क्या क्या part आता है? It's the eardrum as well as the three bones.
Yes, sir.
So
So
remember
it
these
also
things.
amplifies the sound.
It also amplifies the sound, yeah. So as the vibrations fall upon the the eardrum starts vibrating. Getting it now? So it starts vibrating back and forth very rapidly. While we
Yes, sir.
don't get to sense it, but it actually happens. It just starts vibrating back and forth, right? Now the vibrating eardrum will be cause the small bones to vibrate.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, the first bone will be vibrating. सबसे पहले हमारा पहला bone vibrate होगा. That is the hammer. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you have the first bone, hammer. Okay. मैं inner part यहाँ पे draw कर रहा हूँ. Okay ना? Just for
Yes,
you
sir.
guys to be able to understand it properly. Okay. Say
Yes, sir.
this is a human ear. Okay. So this is the eardrum. All right.
Yes, sir.
Now from eardrum you have a bone that is connected, that is called as hammer.
Yes, sir.
इसके बाद इससे एक और छोटा सा बोन कनेक्टेड होता है, that is called as anvil.
Anvil.
Very good. So that is anvil. And the third bone connected to that is stirrup. It somewhat looks like this.
Yes, sir.
Stirrup. So ये पूरी structure हमने जो draw की अभी, this is comprising the middle ear.
Yes, sir.
So as the vibrations hit the eardrum, now it passes into the middle ear. So first of all, the eardrum will start vibrating hammer. Now vibration will be passed from the hammer to the
Anvil.
anvil,
And
and
yes,
then
sir.
it will be then to the third one, that is to the stirrup,
Stipple.
right?
Yes, sir.
No, what will happen now? The vibrating stirrup will strike the membrane of the window here. There is a window like structure over here. यहाँ पे क्या होगा? एक window है like this. See. So यहाँ पर अब हम inner ear की बात कर रहे हैं. Okay. So there's a structure like this. Okay, looks like a snail, huh?
Yes, sir. It contains
Okay. No.
air and moisture.
Exactly, exactly. It consists of air and moisture. So then you have the innermost part of the ear, जिसे हम क्या कहते हैं? Cochlea कहते हैं. This is called
Yes,
as
sir.
cochlea. Okay. And to this cochlea, there are nerves connected.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So these are the auditory nerves.
So it also consists of apparatus, balance and hearing apparatus.
Acha. Okay, okay, good. So here you get to see this is a oval window. ये क्या है? एक oval window है,
Overview.
right? So what happens now? The stirrup is now connected to this oval window. Getting it now? So the stirrup will now strike on the membrane of this oval window. इस oval window के ऊपर भी एक membrane होती है, right? And now
Yes,
the sound that has been amplified. Now you see how many times vibration has occurred here. First here, पहले यहाँ
3
vibration हुई,
times.
yeah. Then second here, and then third here, right now. So now the sound has been amplified. No, यहाँ पे क्या हुआ है? Sound की vibration amplify हो गई है. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
I hope no one is having any issue so far. If there is any issue, please do let me know. So
Sure,
now
sir.
the vibration will be passed on to the this oval window of the
Yes, sir.
cochlea. Getting it now?
Hmm.
Now then what happens? Inside this cochlea, as Aram was saying, there are liquids found in this.
The
There are,
vestibule.
yeah.
Vestibule.
What is the name?
Sir, vestibule.
Vestibule. Okay, okay. Sorry, I don't know about that. Vestibule, you are saying.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. As of now, just know that they are liquid found in the cochlea. Okay. So what happens? The liquids inside the cochlea will start to vibrate. Okay. Now
Yes,
due
sir.
to the vibration of these liquids, ना अब ये जो vibration हो रही है, इसकी वजह से क्या होगा? Electrical impulses पहुंचेंगे auditory nerves में. Okay.
Hmm.
So here now the signals are now converted into electrical signals, right?
Yes,
In
sir.
the innermost ear, what happens? The sound vibrations are now converted into electrical signals, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
now ये सब कहाँ हो रहा है? ये auditory nerves में हो रहा है. Getting it now?
Yeah.
The
Yes, sir.
vibrations are now being converted into the nerves that are present over the cochlea, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
now it will be then transferred to the brain via the help of auditory nerves, right?
Hmm.
So जो electrical impulses create हो रहा है हमारा cochlea में, okay, to be specific, the nerves that are connected to the cochlea, right? So there the electrical impulses are now being produced. So those will be now carried by the auditory nerves to the brain. Now the brain
Yes,
will interpret those electrical impulses as sounds, and thereby we get the sensation of hearing. Okay,
Sir.
yes, sir.
right? So thereby, this is how the human ear basically functions. Huh? If anyone has having any issue, please do let me know.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Everything's clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Moz, you got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we also know one thing, like it's not a good idea to place anything sharp in the human ear, right?
Yes, sir.
Getting it now, like the pencil or pen. Okay, it shouldn't be put inside our ears because it would damage the
Sir.
eardrum, right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Also, the interesting thing about the eardrum of also, if someone ever happened to visit an ENT doctor, many times what happens ना, ear canal catches fungal infection. Ear canal में क्या होता है? Fungal infection भी हो जाता है, right?
Yes.
Sometimes if someone gets slapped very hard, okay, or basically accident हो गया किसी का, for example, so eardrum might rupture. Getting
Yes,
it
sir,
now?
my brother's eardrum ruptured because the
Huh.
teacher beated him.
Acha,
Yes,
this
sir.
happened. Okay, okay. The teacher should be rusticated from the school then.
So he did.
Oh, good, 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 good. And so what I'm telling here, na, the eardrum actually it can repair itself. Okay, after medication or on its own also, it can repair itself. वो repair भी हो जाता है, right now because it's a tissue. Getting it now? Okay. Now we are going to talk about the mechanism of the sound, how basically sound travels from one place to another, right? So we know that sound travels in the form of waves like this, right?
Yes, sir.
Getting it now? So sound is produced by the vibrating objects, as you all know, and sound travels from one place to another in the form of waves. Hence, the name is sound waves. Okay. Now, wave के बारे में हमने कहा था, like when you see now waves now, waves are all also of two
Two
types.
types.
Okay, so they are mechanical waves. Mechanical waves क्या होते हैं? These are the waves that are traveling through a material medium. Okay, so those type of waves that that travel through a material medium, namely solid, liquid, and gas, that are called as mechanical waves. There are two types of mechanical waves depending on the direction of motion of particle of the medium and the wave propagation. We will be understanding that in detail. Don't worry about that. So you have the transverse and longitudinal waves. Okay,
Yes, sir.
say this thing. अगर तालाब में हमने एक stone फेंका है, there's a pond in which you throw a stone, then there are ripples formed in the pond now. Ripples की formation होती है कि नहीं?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, Moaz, Ahmed, water ripples are formed there.
Yes, sir.
Getting it now? So those type of, there also there's that's a very good example to understand transverse waves. Transverse waves हम समझते हैं इसे. How? You know, it travels like this. The ripples are formed like this. See the first part of the diagram here. See,
So the transverse waves cause the medium to move perpendicular to its wave direction.
particles move perpendicular to the wave direction. Or you can also put it like medium moves perpendicular to the wave direction.
Yes, sir.
Rahan,
Yes, ma'am.
that is correct. See, ये हमारा ना wave का direction है. The wave is moving like this, right? And if the particles of the medium in which the wave is moving, that moves perpendicular to it, then that is called as transverse wave. Like this. Water ripples का same example हम consider करते हैं कि like imagine you are sitting, okay, imagine like it's a aquarium में आप बैठ के देख रहे हो, like there's a water ripples form in the aquarium, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you can pretty much observe it. So there you can see the waves are moving forward,
Yes, sir.
right? And the particles of the water, they are moving like this, up and down, like this, up and down, to the direction of the wave movement. Ahmed, Arham, Arhan, was,
Yes,
is that clear to everyone or not?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so to understand like transverse wave, just throw a stone in the pond, thereby you will understand it like that. Getting it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Then longitudinal waves की हम बात करते हैं. Like you have got a spring. Okay, stand on a height, then release the spring. आपके पास
Yes,
spring है, you release it like this. Release it, so it will be like this, right? And thereby you get to see the spring does movement like this, no?
yes, ma'am.
So longitudinal waves causes the medium to move perpendicular to the wave direction. Sorry, parallel.
Parallel here. See, say you are holding this spring and you have released it, so this will move like this. अब हम यहाँ पर देखते हैं, like here the particles are closer, the spring are basically closer to each other, right?
Yeah.
And here they are apart from each other. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So यहाँ पर हम ये भी देखते हैं कि ये इस तरह से मूव कर रही है ना, like this. Okay. See, यहाँ पर ये contract हो गई है, and then they have contracted. Now they are separated from each other like this. Okay, and basically the spring is moving in forward direction like
Yes,
this.
sir.
So spring direction, you assume like it's the direction of wave. Okay, and these are the basically parts of the spring. Some at some places it uh, uh, um, compresses, while at some places it expands basically, right? So this is how longitudinal waves move. When the particle of the wave is moving parallel to the direction of wave propagation. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
So thereby it's called as longitudinal waves. Yeah, Moz, you got it?
Yes, sir.
So what is longitudinal wave or transverse waves?
So the spring is basically the medium, right?
Basically it's the medium.
Okay, sir.
So this is not just to understand about the longitudinal wave, how it basically does move, and getting it now. Okay, so as I have written the definition also, if you want, someone wants to take the screenshot, please do take the screenshot. Okay. So particle motion is perpendicular to the direction of wave motion. That is transverse wave. Okay. Then you have the longitudinal waves. When the particle of the medium travels parallel to the direction of the motion, right? Like it's moving in this manner, while the particles are also moving parallel to the direction of the wave motion. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We had this diagram as well here, right? Okay. So odd of the two, like the transverse or the longitudinal waves, light sound is a longitudinal waves. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see how the sound basically travels. As we already know, like sound travels in the form of rare fractions and contractions, right?
Yes, sir.
Expansion होती है sound waves की, compression होती है, हमने पढ़ा है कि to and fro movement होता है, forward, backward. Getting it now? So eventually sound wave की propagation to forward हो रही है, right? But the particles of the air molecule, at some places they will be expanding, at some places they will be compressing. But overall thing is that they are moving forward, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So that is a longitudinal wave. Now there are few terminologies associated with the sound waves. Kuch terminologies hai which we are going to study. Okay. Before that, I suppose you guys are already aware of the functioning of a simple pendulum.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Moz, how does a simple pendulum works?
Yes, sir.
Simple pendulum किस तरह function करता है? Like a simple pendulum, it also
Yes.
does a back and forward movement,
Yes, sir.
Moment.
right? So
Yes.
in the case of simple pendulum also, it also does a back and forth motion that is called as
Yes,
vibrations or oscillation.
From
Yes, sir.
simple to extreme positions.
Yeah. So oscillation से करता है, right? Simply vibration. How? Who would define what do we understand by one oscillation? One oscillation हम
One
किसे कहते हैं?
oscillation is the oscillation is the moment from point A to B of a bomb.
Not just from point A to B.
No, sir. From A to B, B to A to C, and C to A.
नहीं, you were initially saying right, but you just added one extra movement in it. is see, the bob will be, no, this is called as bob. I hope everyone knows this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ये bob है, this is string, एक solid support से हमने connect किया हुआ है. Okay, so you have this bob, ये इसकी central position है, और mean position भी हम कहते हैं. This is the
Yes, sir.
central position, or also called as the mean position. B and C, these are the extreme positions.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Extreme position means beyond that it will not move any further. Right? So हमने bob को push किया है. Right? So it will move to the extreme position B first. Yeah, to the extreme position B first, then go back to the extreme position C, and then come back to central position A. Getting it now?
So
So
to and fro movement.
to and fro movement, right? So understand it like this: A to B होगा, then B to C होगा, then B to C, and then from C it will return back to A.
Yes, sir.
From B to C, then C to A, right? Or also let me write the sequence if someone is having problem. One movement is from A to B, second is from B
B
to
to
C,
C.
and the third is from C to
C
A,
to A. Yes, sir.
right? Okay. Sometimes you don't see it like this. The movement is from C to B and then B to C.
Yes,
So
sir.
that is also correct. Okay. So one oscillation is the movement done by the pendulum when it moves from one extreme position to another and from another to back to the previous extreme position. Okay.
Yes, sir.
और सिंपल आप ये करेंगे ना कि the movement of a pendulum from central position A to extreme position B and from extreme position B to extreme position C and then back to the mean position, that completes one vibration for a pendulum, that is called as one oscillation. Is that clear to everyone or not? Please do
Yes,
let me
sir.
know, because I would be asking question randomly to anyone.
Yes, sir. It's clear.
It's clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is oscillation. In fact, we can also make a pendulum ourselves as well. Or in fact, जो watches में use होता था, the pendulum or simple pendulum watches which were in use earlier, the thread, this string was of 20 centimeter approx.
Sir, I have a pendulum watch.
Oh, great. So this was the functioning of the pendulum, right? Okay,
Yes.
then. Now let's continue with these terminologies like water amplitude, water frequency, water time periods. What are these things? So see, when you hear this word amplitude, so amplitude is basically what?
Loudness.
Maximum displacement of the bob.
Maximum displacement of the bob. In terms of that,
Loudness.
जब हम sound, हाँ, loudness को ये determine करते हैं, और हम Arhan, we will come to that as well. First of all, ये sound wave travel कर रहा है. Okay, getting it? Moz, the sound waves are traveling right now here. See, ये ब्लू वाली लाइन आपको शो कर रही है साउंड वेव के पार्टिकल्स के, एयर मॉलिक्यूल्स के पार्टिकल है बेसिकली.
Yes, sir.
अंडरस्टैंड इट लाइक दिस. गेटिंग इट ना? एंड ये आपकी जो दिस line that you see, this is the direction in which the sound wave is moving forward, right?
Yes, sir.
और ये हमारे एयर मॉलिक्यूल्स वाइब्रेट कर रही हैं इस तरह से. गेटिंग इट ना? So this, the pathway in which it is moving, we will call it as a mean position. हम इसे mean
Yes, sir.
position कहते हैं, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you were to look at the sound waves की mean position से जो maximum displacement हो रही है, look here, this is the mean position of the sound waves, right? And these are the sound waves जो इसकी maximum displacement हो रही है, यहाँ पर आप देख रहे हैं mean position से, right? So the maximum displacement of the sound waves from the mean position, that we call as amplitude. That is called as amplitude.
Amplitude.
Getting it or not? Okay.
Yes.
Or also in the case of the pendulum, pendulum के केस में अगर हम देखते हैं, So in the case of pendulum, when the pendulum vibrates, it you get to see it goes equal distance on either side of the central position. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
ये हमारा central position या फिर हम कहते हैं mean position है. So from the mean position it goes equal direction on both the sides, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear to everyone? So the
Yeah, sir.
maximum distance to which this bob will be moving from the mean position, that is called as amplitude of vibration of the pendulum. Let me repeat. ये जो maximum displacement इसकी हो रही है mean position से यहाँ पर, right?
Yes, sir.
From A to B or from A to C. So that is called as amplitude of the simple pendulum. Getting it now?
Yes,
In
sir.
the same manner, the maximum displacement of the sound wave from the mean position, that is called as amplitude. Hope it is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Moss, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So we may conclude about the amplitude in this manner. So amplitude, the definition is usually asked. So make sure you revise it. The maximum displacement of a vibrating object या फिर हमने कहा sound wave. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Vibrating object. Why? Because we are considering pendulum and sound wave means simply sound wave. So the maximum displacement of a vibrating object or sound wave from its central position
To the main position.
or
Main
mean
position.
position, okay, is called as amplitude. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Amplitude किसकी? Vibration की हम बात कर रहे हैं, right? So it's amplitude of vibrations. Getting it now? Is if anyone is having any issue, please do let me know. Now, how amplitude impacts sound? More the amplitude, more will be
Loudness.
loudness. The more the amplitude of a sound, more is the loudness. Remember this fact, Moaz, Ahmed, Arham, and
The
Arhan.
loudness is expressed at decibel, right?
Decibel, yeah. The unit to express loudness is decibel. Small d, capital B.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So loudness की ये unit है. Okay ना. So it's in our hand to increase the amplitude or decrease the amplitude. Like in the uh, speaker, you can increase or decrease the amplitude of the sound, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thereby you are basically doing this thing. You are reducing the displacement of the sound from its mean position, right?
Yes, sir.
Second thing you will be studying about, it's the time period.
Time taken to complete one's oscillation.
One oscillation. Very good. Very good. So if you were to study this in regard of a pendulum, pendulum के terms में अगर हम बात करते हैं time period की, so there it basically means that the time taken by this bob to move from position A to B, then B to C, and then back from C to A.
So it's
Right?
expressed as in seconds.
Exactly. It is expressed in second. और हम ऐसा भी कह सकते हैं ना, like the time taken by the bob to travel from point position B to C and then back from C to B.
Yes, sir.
This thing in this thing many a times my students get confused. Like why oscillation की बात करें, what does it specifically mean? First thing is that if it moves from A to B, then B to C, and then C to A, that also makes up one oscillation. Also, if it simply moves from B to C and then C to B, that also makes up one oscillation.
Yes, sir.
Getting it? So whatever time will be taking to complete one oscillation, that means it's the time period. Getting it or not?
Yes, sir.
So the time taken to complete one oscillation. That is called as time period. As Arhan said, it's correct expressed in second.
So Arham said.
हाँ अरहम said हाँ correct good then. So that is expressed in second, right? So for example अगर मैंने कहा कि एक pendulum है, it's a pendulum that does 20 oscillation, okay, in 20 seconds. Yeah. So what would be the time period of
So 1
this?
second.
1
Yes, sir.
second.
1 second.
Very good. That is 1 second. So we can calculate time period in this manner. Time period is equal to total oscillation
Upon
upon
time.
total time taken.
Yes, sir.
Time taken to complete that much of oscillation. So remember this formula, that is very important. So in this manner we calculate time period. Is anyone having any issue? Please do let me know.
Sir. No, sir.
Okay. So what is the formula for calculation of time period, Moaz?
Yes, sir.
What is the formula required to calculate time period of a pendulum?
Sir, time period means time for time taken for one oscillation.
Okay. We have 2 minutes remaining. Let's cover this part also so that you guys will be able to solve some questions. Okay now? Oscillations की frequency की भी हम बात करते हैं, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
suppose in 1 second, how many vibrations are being done by an object? Okay. If we were to consider how many vibrations are being done
Frequency.
per second, thereby you'll be calling it as frequency, right?
Yes, sir.
Total number of total time taken to complete one vibration, that will be called as
Time period.
time
Time
period.
period.
Getting it? Amplitude will be the maximum
Maximum displacement.
Displacement of an vibrating object.
of a vibrating object or a sound wave from its central position or the mean position, right?
Yes, sir.
So frequency is basically how many oscillations are being done in 1 second. So say कि मैंने कहा कि let's say कि an object is doing ना 20 oscillations वो कर रहा है कितने टाइम में? 20 सेकेंड में.
So 1 hertz.
1 hertz would be the frequency of that object.
Yes, sir.
Basically. Okay. So frequency is expressed in units of hertz. Let me repeat again. Frequency is what? The number of vibration or oscillations that is being done by an object in under 1 second. That is simply frequency of the sound, right?
Yes, sir.
It is expressed in hertz. Small later may like it's represented in capital H and a small z like this, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And अगर हम कहते हैं कि एक object की 20 hertz frequency है, it means कि it does 20 oscillations in 1 second. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
और
Yes, sir.
80 oscillation है, it means कि 80 hertz उसकी frequency, it means it is doing 80 vibrations in 1 second.
1 second.
Hope it is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay then. So in the next part of the class, there are few things remaining. We will be basically doing some numericals and then concluding the chapter.
So does oscillation and vibration mean the same?
Oscillation and vibration, they both mean same, especially when you study vibration in case in terms of pendulum, thereby it is specifically referred as oscillation.